Hello and welcome to day 26 of the CoronaBLOG, April the 24th. My name is Mark Brophy. Here is some background information and what I currently do. Today we're continuing with interviews around the world. A series of interviews with different people from different countries. Today the country is the Netherlands. We're going to look at the current situation, money to companies and to people, and the view on the rest of the world, or particularly Italy for us. The Prime Minister is Mark Rutte. He's been Prime Minister since 2010, so he's got a lot of experience. There he is. Currently there are some problems with Euro financing. He says there must always be conditions attached as far as the Netherlands is concerned. The money just must be used correctly to invest. But maybe he's romantic, because I discovered his birthday is the 14th of February, so who knows. So before we conduct the interview, here are the questions we're going to ask. We're going to ask the name, maybe not the age, but the occupation, the area of the country. Has the government protected employees or not in the Netherlands? What financial assistance have companies received? What financial assistance have families and individuals received? The view of Italy in terms of the virus. Will the money arrive from Europe? And when the lockdown is over, what two things does he want to do? Okay, so here we are. What's your name and what do you do?
Hi, I'm Wiebe de Vries. I'm a tax lawyer from Amsterdam in Netherlands.
Oh, in Amsterdam. Okay, so in the Netherlands. And a few questions about what's happening in the situation in the Netherlands. So, companies with employees, what happens to the employees at the moment? Do they receive any money?
No, actually the support in the Netherlands is not run through direct compensation for employees. We have a fund that's taking care of employees through their employers actually. So employers are encouraged to maintain employment at the level that it was before the crisis started. And employers will get a compensation for the total wage that they need to pay to their employees from the government. So there is an indirect incentive to continue to pay and to continue to employ employees. However, on the other hand, employees do indirectly receive another incentive not to be laid off, because the fund will penalize employers that do lay off people, so they get a lower compensation, substantially lower compensation for the damage that they would otherwise be entitled to.
Good. And do companies receive at the moment? Are companies receiving any other form of support from the government?
Yeah, we have apart from this wage compensation, there is a compensation which is a fixed sum of 4,000 euros. That is directly to employers, companies, retailers particularly, and small services like the hairdresser, etc., who needed to close down for the crisis. So that's a direct compensation.
So is that 4,000 a month?
No, that's a one-off fixed 4,000.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And otherwise we have small enterprises, say private entrepreneurs, which we call small independent entrepreneurs actually. They get another support, which is really at the state minimum to add to the income that they still may realize.
Okay, and what about self-employed people or families? What sort of support are they getting?
That would be the latter thing that I told you. So that would be self-employed people. Indeed, that's what the term I was looking for. They get that support up to the society minimum for their self-employment, but they don't get anything else. And otherwise, we have our social security that people can rely on. So families by themselves don't get, like you have in the US, a check for every person of a family. We don't have something like that directly to families.
Okay, and you are looking from Holland, from the Netherlands into Italy. Italy obviously started with this problem before many other countries. What was the reaction to the coronavirus situation when it started in Italy? Did you think it would ever arrive in your country?
Well, we have a lot of people in the Netherlands that traditionally go skiing in northern Italy or in Austria. And from those stories that dripped out of those holidays and how people were hushed out of their ski resorts in Austria, particularly mid-March, it became very, very clear that things were going bad. And of course, before that time already, news started to air that it was it was very intense in northern Italy. So that news really reached us. I think it started to reach by the end of February, I think, but not as big as it's appeared to be later on.
Okay. And obviously you cannot represent all of your country, but in Italy we are hoping, waiting for lots of money from Europe. And we think that the Dutch Prime Minister and maybe the Finance Minister are making this a little difficult. Do you think the money will arrive from Europe?
Of course, the money will arrive. I think Europe is based on loyalty. I mean, if there would be one country that is a big supporter of the European project, and it would be the Netherlands. We're one of the founding members, and we definitely want to be loyal to any of our members. But we have a very, that's probably appreciated by now, Calvinistic approach. We want to really know what money is needed for. Of course, we need to have urgent compensation for the first crisis. And then we need to take a joint look at how we can work ourselves through in a cooperative manner with all the member states through this crisis, because this is something we can only come out better together.
Okay, and on a personal level, what one or two things are you most looking forward to doing once we return to normality?
Well, my expectation is that normality is something that's a definition under pressure, so to say. I'm not sure what normality will be in 2 or 3 months. I don't think it's the normal that we used to have a year ago. So I'm a bit concerned about that. I do hope that at some point, not too long from now, bars and restaurants will reopen, and that I can get another haircut, because that starts to wear a bit.
Okay. Well, Wiebe, thank you very much for speaking to us, and good luck with the future in the Netherlands. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark. It was a nice being with you again.
Thank you. Okay, so his name is Wiebe and he's a consultant based in Amsterdam. The government is protecting employees. So the government is paying the companies and the companies pay the employees. So a little different to Italy. The financial assistance the companies have received, very small companies, micro companies and individuals are treated more or less in the same way. So a lump sum, meaning one payment of €4,000. Companies are penalized if they do not protect their employees. So families and individuals have received, again, this €4,000. That's only for workers. Families who are not employees or self-employed do not appear to be receiving anything. View of Italy, well, they saw the virus as arriving from the ski resorts of the north of Italy and Austria. The money from Europe, well, in his opinion, he said, of course it will arrive, but the Dutch, from their Calvinistic traditions, want to see that the money is spent wisely. When the lockdown is over, well, he lives in Amsterdam, so Amsterdam is famous for its nightlife. He wants to get back to the bars. And like many people, he would like a haircut. So, quick look at the Netherlands. The Netherlands has a population of 17 million people. The total deaths, looking at the 23rd of April, is 4,100. 177. So if we multiply this by 3 or 4, we're looking at 15, 16,000 comparable. So it's comparable to Italy, France, etc. Maybe just a little lower. Okay. So today we go to the Netherlands, the Prime Minister Mark Rutte, an interview with Wiebe, a consultant, and a number of deaths in the Netherlands. Thank you very much.